Hi guys, Mike here at netbooklive.com and ultrabookreview.com, and we're here with probably two of the most appreciated ultrabooks available right now on the market. We have here on the left the 13.3-inch Lenovo IdeaPad U300S, and next to it there is another 13.3-incher, the Asus Zenbook UX31. And in this clip we're going to have a comparison between the two and see which one of them is actually better and why. And of course, for more details about each of them, you're going to find here on our YouTube channel, GadgetJM, the reviews for both of these, and you're also going to find the written reviews on the sites. Okay, so let's go into start. First of all, the Lenovo is available in a couple of different colors, actually two. This is the charcoal gray version. There's also one available in orange, while the Asus is only available in this version. It's with an aluminum cover. In fact, both come with aluminum bodies, but the design is a bit different. While the Lenovo is simpler, and you can see that it's more sober with a lot less intrusive design, the Asus comes with a couple of design tricks. For instance, the top sheet, the hood is covered in a sheet of aluminum with this spherical pattern in here, while the bottom it's also covered in aluminum, and it's a bit lighter aluminum with a linear pattern in here. On the other side, the Lenovo, it's simple, and it's the same thing on the bottom and on the top, while the edges, they're a bit lighter. They're made still from aluminum, but it's a lighter aluminum, and the edges, they are very sharp in here, so it resembles a book, or like a big file that you're going to place in your bookshelf. And this is a design Lenovo also tried with the previous generation portable laptop, the U360, and I think it's actually very good. Comparing these two devices, you're going to notice that while the Lenovo has straight overall uniform body in here, so it's not wider than, it's not thinner on the front than it is on the bottom. It's pretty much even. The Asus, on the other hand, has this tear-shaped design as it gets thinner towards the front, exactly like the MacBook Air. So I'm not really going to say that one is better looking than the other, because they both look okay. So but personally, I think I really like the Lenovo just a bit better. Overall, they're pretty much the same. If you're going to put one on top of the other, let's see. Like this, I would say that the Asus is just a tiny bit wider and pretty much the same length, while comparing their width, I think the Asus is actually a bit slimmer, but only by a very tight margin. And I think on the back it's a bit thicker than this one, while the front it definitely gets thinner here. In terms of weight, they both weigh about 3 pounds, while the actually about 2.9 pounds. So they're very close here as well. Let's have a quick look on the ports, and we're going to start with the Lenovo. And on the Lenovo, what you have here, you have a microphone. Okay, let's focus. A headphone, microphone jack, USB 3.0, HDMI, full-size HDMI, and the PSU. Nothing on the back besides the screen's hinge. And on this part, you have a system restore button, you have a cooling vent, and you have another USB. While on the front, you have the status LEDs, which are placed right here. Not really sure if you can see this, but there are two dotted parts, and these are the status LEDs. One that shows that the computer is on, and this is the charging meter. And you're going to see in the review how these ones actually work. On the other part, you have the Asus, and let's start with this part. What you have here is an USB, a headphone jack, and an SD card reader. Nothing else here. Nothing on the front, on this slim front. On this side you have an LED indicator, and next to it there is a mini HDMI, a micro HDMI, sorry, and a mini VGA, and a USB 3.0 and a PSU. And of course you also have here the screen's hinge. So main difference, this one doesn't have a card reader and has a full-size HDMI port, while this one has a micro HDMI and a mini VGA port, but it also has a SD card reader. For the mini VGA you also have an adapter included, and that one allows you to connect a standard VGA cable to the computer. However, you don't have an adapter for the HDMI cable, so if you're going to use that, you're going to need to buy a separate cable. Okay, now let's go ahead and continue our clip and go and open this too. And you're going to notice that they are a bit different in terms of design. Okay, sorry for that light over there. Okay, here we go. So what you're going to notice is the keyboard on this one is a bit different than the keyboard on the Asus. But first, before actually getting to the keyboard, both of these come with metallic bodies. So all these are metal. They also come with metallic screen bezels, which is quite nice. Both come with 13.3-inch glossy displays. However, they're not similar. I'm going to tell you why a couple of minutes from now. Now let's get back to the keyboards. This one is actually a very good keyboard. These keys are perfectly sized. They come with this special Lenovo design. They're a little bit rounder towards the bottom. They actually come with very good travel, and they don't need a lot of feedback from you. They don't need to be pressed firmly. While these ones, the keys are a little bit bigger. There's still proper space between them, but they are also a bit wobbly. So when pressing them, if you're not going to press them firmly in the middle, they might not register the command. In terms of layout, both of these are pretty much similar. However, we're going to notice a couple of differences. On the Lenovo, you have this extra row of keys, which is quite a bummer, because most users are used to having an enter here, like you have on the Asus. There is the enter key here. Also, this one comes with the European layout, while this one has the US layout, and you're going to notice this by the fact that you have a taller enter, while this one has a bar enter, and you have a bigger shift here, while this one has a very small shift. One more thing, arrow keys, better on the Lenovo, bigger on the Lenovo, a lot smaller on the Asus. So if you're going to use the arrow keys a lot, the Lenovo is a better pick. But overall, I would say the keyboard is better on the Lenovo. Both of them neither of them actually offer illuminated keyboard, so these are pretty standard. If you want illuminated keyboards, you're going to have to go for the MacBook Air or the Toshiba, the Z830 Toshiba. But besides this, the keyboards are okay, with an advantage for the Lenovo. The trackpads, both of these devices actually have big trackpads. There's plenty of space. Both are glass trackpads over here, and I would say they're both good. Still, this one on the Asus has some drivers issues. On my tested unit, those drivers issues are not as easy to spot as on previous earlier versions of the Asus Zenbook. Some of the problems have been fixed, but they're still there, and sometimes this performs poorly. The trackpad is not that accurate sometimes, and it registers clicks or fails to actually register clicks when you perform them. However, on the Lenovo, it's a much solid experience, and that's why I prefer the trackpad on this one. Of course, both come with multi-touch gestures, and they work okay. This one is just a bit more reliable. One more thing I wanted to show you here. Notice that on the Asus you have the Intel Core i7 and the Windows 7 logos. They're placed here on the trackpad, while on the Lenovo they're placed on the back. So you have them over here. which means that the front face is less clustered with all this kind of logos and stuff. Okay, now let's go ahead and power this, and I'm going to talk about them later. Power button here for the Lenovo, and here part of the keyboard for the Asus. Both come with 13.3-inch screens, like I said. However, this one is a 1368 by 1366 by 768. That one is a 1600 by 900, so better resolution. They're both pretty much on par in terms of loading time, and they're both very fast, around 30 seconds for both of them. They also resume very fast from sleep, which is also another good. Okay, let's close this. So they resume fast from sleep, which is another good aspect. Both screens are fairly bright, I would say. But the contrast on the Lenovo is just a bit poorer than the contrast on the Asus. Still, I would pick that screen over this one anytime because it comes with a better resolution. Viewing angles, they're decent on both of them, not amazing. I'd say okay-ish, but not that good. Anyway. Probably I should have put the same picture on both of them, but I don't really have that wallpaper to put it on the Lenovo, so there's no way I can actually do this. Now, in terms of configurations, they both come in a couple of different versions. I'm going to talk about the top versions, and these are with Core i7 processor, of course ULV processors, 4 GB of RAM and 257 GB SSD storage. Plus, of course, you get good connectivity and all the other things. They both run Windows 7, so pretty similar here in terms of power. One thing I like on the Lenovo is that it runs a bit cooler than the Asus. The Lenovo actually drains sucks air from beneath the keys and eliminates them over here. There are a couple of vents beneath the screen's hinges and here on the side, while on the Asus the air, I believe it's sucked from the bottom and dissipated from here, also beneath the screen's hinge. So this one gets a bit hotter than this one. It's not really that much of a difference, but still you're going to notice this. In terms of battery life, both this get similar batteries, about 50 watt-hour batteries, and on the Asus you're going to get 5 to 6 hours of life, while on the Lenovo you're going to get just a bit extra, with an average of 6 hours of life every single charge. So so both of them are actually quite good despite their raw power. And on devices like this, of course, you can run all kinds of multimedia content, and you can run most of your software, including graphic editing programs, video editing, I don't know, Flash, all this kinds of stuff. You won't be able to run games because neither has dedicated graphics. They come with integrated graphics from Intel. But besides this, they're going to be okay. One final thing I should mention here are the speakers. On the Asus you have, and for that perhaps I should open a clip. And let's go ahead and do this. And open a clip on YouTube. And I have this big bunny animation. Okay, wait. And open it in here as well. And of course, right now you're going to notice, or at least you should, I think I should lower my camera's brightness a bit for that. Okay, here we are. And let's turn sound on. And first, let's start with the Asus. Of course, you're going to notice the bigger resolution on the screen on the Asus. Okay, let's run the clip. Okay, so the speakers, they're beneath the keyboard and are made together with Bang & Olufsen. They're quite good, they're powerful enough, I'd say, and they also provide decent quality, decent sound quality. And let's listen to this. So these are good as well. I believe they're also placed beneath the keyboard. Sound volume is definitely enough, however quality is not as good, I would say. And I'm not actually an expert or something like this, but for my ears I'd say the quality is poorer on the Lenovo than it is on the Asus, and perhaps this is something you should take into consideration. However, for basic stuff, for watching clips on YouTube, listening to some music while traveling, watching some movies, they're both going to do just fine. Okay, so those were the things I wanted to tell you here. We're going to wrap up with a couple of details on the prices. This one, the Asus starts at $1099 for a Core i5 processor with 128GB SSD. And the top version is $1399 with a Core i7 and 256GB storage. For the Lenovo, there aren't that many options available right now. In the Lenovo official store, there is just the top version right now in stock, and that one goes for $1499. And for that, you're going to get Core i7 processor, 256GB SSD. So similar configuration, only this one is $1399 and this one is $1499. And for the Asus, you're also going to find some discounts online, going to get it cheaper. So bottom point, the Lenovo is about 100 and something extra. And for that, don't forget that on the Asus you get two adapters. You get a USB to Ethernet adapter, you get mini VGA to standard VGA adapter plus a case, while on the Lenovo you actually don't get anything, any of these accessories from what I know. So definitely a better value on the Asus. But overall, I would say, at least for me, the Lenovo is the better pick. I don't know if it's actually the better pick. I like the Lenovo better. I like the design. It's less intrusive. It's simple, just like I like it, classic, and I really like this keyboard and the trackpad. The keyboard is very good, and for me, because I get to type a lot and write a lot of articles, having a very good keyboard is very important. For you guys, if you don't plan on typing that much, you're going to be okay with the keyboard on the Asus as well, which is actually not bad, but it's not as good as the one here. One thing I also like about the Asus is the screen. So if I could have the screen on the Asus here on the Lenovo, I would go ahead and choose this one for sure, even if it costs like 100 and something, $200 extra. But so with the screen, with the poorer screen here and the poor resolution, it's pretty much a tie, at least for me, between these. So if I were to choose between one right now, I don't know if I could actually make a proper pick. So perhaps I'm going to have to think about it a bit more and get back with my conclusion in the written review. And the written review is going to be published on the site, of course, on netbooklive.com and on ultrabookreview.com, probably in the next couple of days, maybe week or so. So I advise you to go over to these sites and check out the written reviews, written comparison as well. Okay, that was it for now. Mike at netbooklive.com with the Lenovo IdeaPad U300S and the Asus Zenbook UX31, two of the most appreciated and two of the best ultrabooks available right now in late 2011 on the market. Thanks, and don't forget to subscribe and press thumbs up if you like our work.